So official hello from Jerusalem, we made it, and I'm so excited to share with you what we're gonna be doing here. We're gonna be staying, I think, 4 days, and he's just getting ready in the background because we're gonna go out, and then afterwards we're gonna go to Tel Aviv for like 1 day before we go back to Dubai. So I really wanted to share a little bit of why we're doing this, and I feel like this book that I'm currently reading really resonated with me, especially I mean, I'm not done with it yet, I'm like halfway through, but this one page, well actually 2 pages, really resonated with me because like I was nervous to come here, not only because it's very, you know, delicate topic, and it's like, you know, there's so many conflicting opinions about the place, and for us, you know, it's very like spiritual journey that we're on. And I was nervous to show this, but at the same time I know that it's something that I had to share because it's a big part of my life right now. So, and how I want to describe this nervousness basically is summarized in these 2 pages that I want to read for you guys. So this book is called What Women Fear, and just listen to this. Years had passed since he had picked up a paintbrush. I walked into the study of my father's home and saw his easel up, fresh canvas sitting so it faced the sunlight. His oil paints were lined up by color, and the jar of dusty brushes had made its way out of a cardboard box. And she says, "What are you going to paint?" I surveyed the canvas and imagined the outcome. My dad is an extremely gifted painter, but time had prevented him from doing it. And I was really excited to see what would come of him picking it back up. And he says, "You know, Angela, I have a couple of ideas, but I've got a lot to catch up on." He motioned toward the stack of art books. He explained that he had put the first coat of paint down just to get the canvas prepared for when he was ready to get started. It was silent for a minute while I thought about the fact that I was very much like my father. I smiled at him and let him know I understood. "So you're just reading about it, huh? Not really ready to do it yet?" He shook his head. "No, I'm way too rusty. I mean, I haven't held a paintbrush in years. I need to study it first, and then I'll just..." He trailed off as I made a face that told him I could see right through his act. "You're scared it's not going to turn out right, aren't you?" I smiled. "Well, you can't just pick up a brush and start painting. You won't know what you're doing, and then it will be what, Dad?" He shifted his weight and looked me in the eye. "Well, it would be a mess." He kept his hand on the books while I grabbed the brushes. "You need to just do it, Dad. You're so worried about failing that you're going to read yourself right into oblivion. You're not ever going to actually do anything with all this knowledge you're gaining, so it's kind of useless, don't you think?" So easy to say about some brushes and tubes of old paint, not so easy to hear as a statement about your fears. I knew as I drove home that night that the Lord has used this moment to speak to me about my own fears of failure. I want to do it exactly right, make sure I'm as fully prepared as humanly possible, and then buy and thoroughly highlight many more books. I want to have all the knowledge I can before I dare to take a step of action. I'm not saying it isn't valuable to learn about something before you do it, but if you have had the paint out for months and you can't tear yourself away from the manual, there's a good chance you're missing out. I'm sure people would laugh to know that I have read virtually every book in existence on sewing, and as much as I love to sew, I think I might like learning about it even more. When I read about it, it looks like a masterpiece in my head. When I actually constructed, there are skipped stitches and the edges are uneven. It doesn't match the vision I had for it, and I feel like I have wasted the potential. I know why the canvas sits blank, not only in his home, but also in yours. Sometimes the fear of failure steals the beauty we were meant to create. Here's the part we need to cling to. If what we're being called to do is in God's will for us, we truly can fail. I know it sounds like I'm making a flippant statement that should be on a poster with a guy hitting a golf ball, but what I mean is that we simply may not have the same meaning as God for the word failure. To me, failure means it doesn't turn out the way I wanted it to. To God, it means I didn't pick up the brush. Assuming that God is calling you to do something, and that isn't always easy to discern, in which case we just have to take baby steps in the direction of his voice, you will fail by being disobedient, not by a lack of success at the task. So, sorry for a very lengthy paragraph slash page, but I feel like this was exactly how I felt about coming here. And I remember the first time I read it, to me and Andy, we were both like still debating, should we go here? we felt like such amateurs. I still think we do feel a little bit like amateurs, like, oh, we haven't read the entire Bible, we haven't, you know, learned enough. But then we will always find reasons why not to come and why not to actually learn about the place. And I think for me, reading this part specifically in the book at that time really like encouraged me, but also because I've come across quite a few big YouTubers in the last month or two who have come out with their testimonies, and they're, not to say like the least people I'd expect to come to Christ, but it's like just so encouraging to see people come to, you know, the light and the truth, and it's just amazing. So I feel very like motivated now, even though I am still scared inside, but I am feeling like motivated at the same time to share my journey. And I'm just excited to take you along with me on this trip, and Andy. Yeah. So, but as of right now, one thing I really noticed is like I'm experiencing a cultural shock. I've been in Dubai for quite some time now, and I have not traveled to new places, new, you know, cultures and stuff like that. So for me, I'm already experiencing a bit of a shock. Like I was so nervous on the flight. Like at one point I was listening to like praise and worship music, and I just got like teary-eyed. I was like, oh my gosh, we're actually going here. This is, you know, where everything happened. And then to come here and you're like souvenir shops and like, you know, people and like designer stuff, and there's like boutiques, and I was just like, not what I thought it was gonna be, you know. So I'm just trying to process everything. It's literally been like an hour, but yeah, so much more to come this week, and I can't wait to show you everything. So we're going out now. We left our bags freshened up a little bit, and one thought came into my mind. I think the real challenge of this trip for us will be to take out that sort of commercial side of this place, because I don't think that that's what we came here for. And just to put it all to the side and remember what is the real cause why we're here. But of course it's exciting to see all like the markets and shops and just the culture in general. Right now we're gonna go to Yehuda Market, night market. So we're excited to see what it's all about. This is more commercial than I anticipated. I mean, this is literally the street we're staying on. How do you feel about it? It doesn't doesn't really put you in a spiritual mood. Look at this. Wow. So this is Monday evening in Jerusalem. By the way, this is not Old Jerusalem. We're going to Old Jerusalem tomorrow, or maybe later tonight, to the Western Wall. And one thing also that I thought about as we were waiting for the tram is that it kind of reminds me of Germany because of the trams. I don't know how to explain it, but I was saying it feels like Frankfurt, and even Andy said the same. It's like, it's giving that vibe of Frankfurt in certain parts. But yeah, it's just initial thoughts so far. Like looking at the street, I wouldn't say it's Germany, but where the tram area is, it kind of gave me that impression. Concert. Amazing! You need to plug it in. Welcome to Yehuda Market. Apparently it's like super lively at the end of the week, but still for a Monday this looks pretty exciting. So we were told, oh, people are closing. I think this place closes at 9, so we're a bit late. As you can see, all this dried fruit, Turkish delight, so many different foods here. I love how there's tequila shots next to the pastries. Ready. I love pastries. What do you fancy, Andy? Do you know what you fancy? Sure, everything looks yum. Look at these croissants. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Looks amazing. Also, this guy on the plane told us if you see people queuing, which is what's happening here, that means the place is good. So I think we should try some of this. Do you fancy? Definitely. Definitely, yeah. Andy and sweets, it's a relationship. So let's try some of these. So they gave us a glove. We have to self-help ourselves, and we only have dollars, so we're gonna pay with dollars. Let's see how that goes. Very good. It's like so sweet, but so good. This place crazy. There's like a lady smoking there. There's like rap music there. Not what I expected from Jerusalem at all. There is a lady behind us with this massive gun. Seems like it's a normal or regular thing. Nobody bats an eye on it. Also, this guy just approached us and he's like, come, try a homemade beer, a beer that I made myself. And I'm like, no, thank you. There you go, another offer. Like on every corner we're going, everyone's like, do you want a drink? But the fact that he offered his own made beer, like I was like not comfortable with that at all. Okay, why is it so lit for a Monday? It's like a party, seriously. Andy, woo! This is crazy, guys. We're waiting for the tram. And these guys are like spitting sunflower seeds everywhere next to us. Not a vibe. Jesus, take the wheel. Why would you want to trash the place up like this? First food in Jerusalem. We're so lame. Eating pizza. We've been hunting for like some falafel and hummus because supposedly it's super good here. But honestly, everything's closed. We walked past a lot of places and it's like French fries and things like that. So we ended up getting pizza as our first meal in Jerusalem. Unacceptable. I know. This is the city hall. Really nice. So this is the old Jerusalem. That hedge is freezing. This is the Tower of David according to this. So we're trying to get to the Western Wall. This is the old Jerusalem. As you see the outline, we entered through the Jaffa Gate there. And now we gotta make our way to the Western Wall. Look at this place. Super weird and empty. Here's the Western Wall. This is where the men pray, and on this side is where the women pray. We might go and check it out for ourselves. What do you think of the Western Wall? Weird. It's weird, right? I heard that the ambience is very different at night, so we decided to come here now in the evening just to see. And it looks like it's mostly Jewish men. Not sure about the women. I don't think they're Jewish, right? The women doesn't look like, at least. By the way, I underestimated how cold it is. I literally packed summer dresses, so that's not very smart, but I think I might need to get some warmer clothes because it's definitely colder than I thought it's going to be. There's some people walking backwards because they don't want to turn their back to the wall. I don't know what is this tradition, but it's a thing. What is so special about this wall that you told me?
Well, it's meant to be the heartbeat of Jews around the world. And there's many people, I think Jews from other countries that are here. It's like they're all in tears to pray.
And supposedly all the prayers go straight to heaven. And it's very unique because there's like pigeons in the wall. I don't know if you can see, but there's like various spots there. And there's pigeons sleeping and there's like cries of people. I don't know, very weird energy, I would say, in this place. And also all these little notes, these little prayer requests that people put, they cannot be destroyed. They have to be brought to Mount of Olives, right?
Yeah.
And to be burned. So you will see people throughout the day sweeping them, but they're not being thrown away actually. So this is the part where we were, the Western Wall, and this is Dome of the Rock. which is right there. If I'm not mistaken, the Jews cry here because this used to be an area they could access, but it's since it was occupied by the Muslims, it's no longer accessible to them. So I think that is the reason why they're weeping, but I could be totally wrong. And for those of you that have no idea at all about Old Jerusalem, it's divided in quarters. So the Muslim quarter, Christian quarter, Armenian quarter, and the Jewish quarter, which is where we are at right now. Do you guys know why they don't write the full word for God? They just skip the letter O. Please, if you know, let us know. So now we have ended up in the Armenian quarter, and our brains are literally like blown out. The amount of cameras that we've seen here and the amount of guns we've seen here, like police, crazy. Like, there's people making remarks as we're walking, because obviously we're not Jewish and we were in a Jewish quarter. So Andy was cold and she wanted just to, you know, cover her head because I have a hoodie. And they're like, they asked you what? They're like, where are you? They said, where are you from?
Yeah, the guy's like, where are you from?
Yeah, then this other lady was like, girls, are you Jewish? Don't get married to Jewish. Something like that. Jewish. Or like, stay. I was like, what? I laughed because I thought she was being funny, but then I realized that it was not funny. Because like, yeah, I read too much into it, but I just thought the remark wasn't necessary because we were not engaging in a conversation. She was just walking past us and she just, you know, dropped this on us, and I'm like, oh, okay, actually that's not nice. So it's a lot to process on our first day, I'm not gonna lie. And we're just trying to find our way out of here, but we don't know where to go.
Lost in Jerusalem.
Lost in Jerusalem, part 1. Good morning. This is what we woke up to. Rain, rain, rain. So we just got back from breakfast, and just to give you an idea, I'm preparing my backpack, and like, look what I packed. A fan and sunglasses. Like, thinking it's gonna be hot, warm, nice and sunny, and in reality I'm wearing 2 layers. Luckily I packed this little rain jacket. It's pouring. People are with umbrellas, and we're doing a walking tour today, of course, in the rain. I don't mean to sound like a complaining nag bag, but it's just how unfortunate that this is the day that it decides to rain, or that this is the day that we decide to do a walking tour. Look at Andy, she's in full on ski slope vibe energy here. But we're still excited nonetheless, so let's go. Andy, what just happened?
Winter shopping.
Winter shopping.
And now we're kitted out and ready.
Yes, so we literally stepped out like 20 steps outside our hotel, and we were like, nah. This rain ain't it. So we stopped to exchange dollars to local currency, and we stopped at a local shop to get matching umbrellas, gloves. I got like these socks that don't really go with my outfit, but it's okay. And yeah, and a little scarf as well. As you can see, one of the last things I expected to find here is the coffee bean and tea leaf. I guess it's not so random, but still didn't expect it. What do you think of your white chocolate latte?
Delicious.
Latte or mocha? What is this?
Latte.
Latte. You look like you're in a ski resort indeed. So
It's almost snowing.
Exactly. We literally stopped halfway on our way to Old Jerusalem. A little coffee bean moment in our gloves. It's very weird energy here because like I feel like we're almost like the only tourists here now, right? Yeah. We're walking and it's like everyone's going to like work and school, and we're just like here trying to find Jesus in a coffee bean shop. On a Tuesday. I hate this feeling because like one of my biggest fears about making this video was probably just being this like obnoxious tourist, ignorant, uneducated, you know, and I feel really like I'm living out my fear right now. So we're looking around and we just feel like such outcasts and like we don't fit in almost, you know. I don't know how to explain it. It's really weird. We've been to a lot of countries all over the world, but this is the first time I hope that today is going to be the day where we learn a bit more and we kind of like understand a bit better the community and the culture here, because so far I feel very out of place, very lost. Exactly. This is getting funny now. It's the second time somebody approached us and spoke in Hebrew. I think it's because Andy looks a bit... No? Literally yesterday on the plane. In another lifetime. On the plane somebody spoke to us in Hebrew, and today somebody spoke to Andy in Hebrew. Do you think she could pass the Jewish tag? Yeah, so we're making our way to Old Jerusalem again. Today we're doing the walking tour, which is a free guided tour, and we're gonna be visiting again the same quarters that we visited yesterday, but some new spots that we haven't been able to go to last night. And then we will be doing a very, very special oh my day is so loud, sorry. We'll be doing a very special walk, which is Via Dolorosa from the Bible, when Jesus was about to be crucified and he walked there. So I heard that it's very, very sad. We're emotionally preparing ourselves for that, but it should be super interesting. Restored with the generous help of South African Jewry. And Andy doesn't understand why there's no electricity and water back home in South Africa.
Well, there's where all the money went.
Literally, what?
Nice to meet you guys. My name is Liran, and I'm from here, from city. I'm living here all my life. Jaffa is 5,000 years old. Tel Aviv is around 100 years old.
We just found out that this entire wall around Old Jerusalem has been built in the Ottoman Empire to glorify Jerusalem, basically.
This is the place. As you can see, this church is a Greek Orthodox church, and it's also a residential zone. So people live here and they have the keys, and they are proud to say that they are living near this church. They have also opening hours, and sometimes they really they open it for the crowd.
Not today.
What is so special about this church? Yes? This church is the place of burial of John the Baptist.
We learned a very interesting thing, that out of the four quarters in Old Jerusalem, the biggest one is the Muslim one. They have 40,000 people living in 1 kilometer. Then the Jewish is 5,000, Christian is 4,000, and the Armenian is 3,000 instead, or 1.5. Or 1.5, sorry, yes. So very, very interesting, because I feel like there's a lot of Jews, not Muslims, right? But it's actually the other way around.
Maybe they stay in that quarter.
Because they all want to be close to the Dome of the Rock, apparently, and be gatekeepers or
Keys to the Holy Land.
Keys to the Holy Land type of people. Very interesting. By the way, this tour is absolutely free. It's called Abraham Tours, so I'll leave a link if you want to book it. They also do paid tours, which I think are a bit more extensive and in-depth, but we are good with a 2-hour walk tour for now, for starters. Now we're going to one of the most important Christian sites, Church of Holy Sepulchre, and this whole street smells like frankincense and myrrh. It's such a strong scent.
And this is the place where Jesus was crucified on the hill. It was a very small hill, close to the gate of Jerusalem, and this is where the Romans wanted to show their muscles against their enemies, against the ones who want to rebel against Roma. And it was just in front of the gate, so people that they go inside, yes, the Temple of Solomon, remember, they're not holding the same religion of Roma. But in this time, of course, Jesus was completely innocent. He never planned a rebel against Roma by, of course, false accusation, but he is attempting to be a king, and not actually, when he's doing it, he's rejecting Caesar Augustus. This tower, why it's relevant for museum, not only for the Germans, they have amazing
magnificent view.
The amount of cameras here, like just look, literally 3 here. On every street, on every corner there's cameras. It's like Spy TV. Guys, it just started hailing. What? Guys, we're about to try Abu Kamel falafel place. And it's like one of the most famous supposedly here. Because he like hand grinds the chickpeas. Super excited. Our first falafel of the trip at Abu Kamel at Christian Quarter. Yum. Andy, we need your reaction.
Okay.
Your first bite. It's quite big. Quite big. Big. Yes? No. Woo! Okay. My turn. Look at the color. It's like all green in there. What do they add? Is it the herb? What's it called? Mint? Not mint. Yeah. Is it mint in the falafel?
Yeah. What do you think?
I got a lot of cabbage in my first bite, so it's really hard to discern where it without. It's good, but let me try this side. Yeah, this, wow. This side had the falafel. Yum. Very, very good. JFC. Do you know JFC?
Jerusalem's fried chicken.
JFC. Wow. Now we're gonna go to the infamous Via Dolorosa. We're gonna try to find where it is. And we briefly passed one of the streets while we were doing the free guided tour. And we saw something super, I don't want to say crazy, but something super interesting. And that is people, like pilgrimage people, carrying cross and just singing, you know, the songs, the worship songs while they're walking. And apparently that's quite a common thing to do, like on Friday, because you know Jesus was crucified on a Friday, and so some people just do that, I guess, to feel those emotions. I don't know, it's very, very unique, put it that way. So we're gonna go.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you? Where do you come from? Are you making music?
Yes, sorry. Yes, thank you, thank you.
Are you looking for me, honey?
No. Oh my god. People here are so talkative. Literally everyone's shouting us up, not because we're tourists, but just generally they're like, oh, come in, this is what you're looking for. And I'm like, what am I looking for, you know? They don't even know. They just, since we boarded the plane, people just would not stop chatting us up. It's weird. Like, I don't think it happens in other countries as much as here. Hello. So we came in, we bought some small souvenir. I'll show you now. Guys, my feet were wet. I couldn't stand it anymore. I bought these rubber boots. Luckily, the socks that I bought this morning.
Wore those when it was raining.
Yeah, exactly. This morning, luckily, I got 2 pairs of socks, so I just changed, and now it's nice. Otherwise, I'm gonna get sick if I keep walking for the rest of the day with with wet shoes. But how do you like my fashion sense on this holiday? There's one that's about Jewish, and the other one about Palestine. I'm so confused. And the other one says I love Israel.
And the other one says America, don't worry.
And then America, don't worry. What? Guys, it's so hard to imagine that Jesus walked here with a cross with like all these shops here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put in earphones, play some praise and worship music, and just walk and try to get into the spirit, because it's just like so out of place. You know what I mean? None of this should be here. Finally, we found a quiet street with no markets. Now this is more like the Jerusalem we envisioned. Wow. Do you guys hear the prayer, the Muslim prayer? This is just... You're thinking of the birthplace of Virgin Mary, and at the back is the Muslim prayer. Struggling. We're just quickly reading about what is Via Dolorosa, and it represents the path of Jesus that he would have taken forth by the Roman soldiers on the way to his crucifixion, which is at the Church of Holy Sepulchre. We're starting to walk Via Dolorosa. This is where he receives the cross. Yeah.
It's the security check.
Yeah. So one guy about a month ago came in here and threw the statue from here of Jesus, and he was shouting Exodus 20, and Andy showed the Bible verse that you just said, that is Exodus 20. He says, no carved gods of any size, shape or form, of anything whatever, whether of things that fly or walk or swim. No other gods, only me. So I think he was upset that it's said in the Bible and that the statue is here. The security said this is Roman soldier games. Imagine, guys. Crazy. Andy, where are we?
Somewhere down under.
Guys, look, we're in some kind of cave. This is Via Dolorosa as well, but this is like 25 meters underground. Maybe this was like the...
What is still here? Can you hear it?
Here we can see the mosaic.
See, animal knuckle bone used in the games. Apparently they tied them as well to the stick that they beat Jesus with as well. Guys, look, this is where we were walking on the street. That used to be the original level of Jerusalem, and down there where the water cistern is. They said that this part, these floor blocks basically were in Passion of the Christ, the movie, which I've not seen, and only the building, as you see, it's different color, different bricks, is new, but all of this is the original, and they said they are 100% sure that Jesus walked here. The reason why they have these new extensions, new levels, is because Jerusalem has been destroyed so many times, and also because there's like earthquakes and things like that. But this is like the original. Imagine, look at this.
I look down for you in the middle of my pain. I reach down farther, calling out your name. Always I'm searching for a long-lost piece of heart. I sought and found you, like a fire in the deepest parts. I will hold on to you, no matter what comes. I will hold on to you, no matter what comes. No night can last forever, no storm will tear us apart. I will hold on.
Good morning, guys. It is day 3. Yesterday we got rained in so badly. I think I spent like 10 minutes in the shower just trying to warm up my bones. But this morning the weather's looking a lot better. It's 7:30 and we are already in Old Jerusalem. After doing the Via Dolorosa walk, we decided that it's better to come here early morning when there's like all the vendors closed and there's not that many tourists, just to really feel the vibes and the ambience, so to say. So we're going back to the Church of Holy Sepulchre. I forgot to mention yesterday that the marble where Jesus was laid on after he was crucified, a lot of people bring in like their clothes and rub it, or like, I don't know, crosses and just any like valuable kind of items for them, and they rub it. And some people buy even the clothes for their funeral and they rub on it. So we thought it was a bit extreme, but it was very interesting to see what people do and, you know, what's important to them. So we're going back there. Hopefully it's going to be less crowded and we can just really immerse ourselves in that kind of experience. And Andy said she saw something super interesting also. What was it?
So yesterday I saw a lady. She had like cloths or napkins that had olive oil on them, and she was rubbing it on the stone, and I guess she will take it back home and rub the anointing or blessings from that stone on items in her home to make them more valuable and bless them.
Yeah, because
and
there's a kitty.
And the tour guide said that it's a really common occurrence. It happens a lot. People bringing to take back the blessings with them, I guess, to their home country.
I didn't know, but apparently the marble keeps the scent for like thousands of years or something like that. I don't know how they determined that, but I was like, whoa. Anyways, this is the church in the morning. It's so much more busy in the evening. Look, so peaceful here, guys. Look at this. Also, I showed yesterday to Andy one video on YouTube, which is also a very interesting phenomenon. The Orthodox people come here during Easter and they go into the tomb that we went to, but apparently we cannot film there, and it's literally you get 10 seconds before you get kicked out because there's so many people queuing up, and apparently that's where Jesus was laid when he died. So in that tomb, Orthodox people go and pray during Easter, and apparently it lights their fire. They call it the holy fire. I don't know if it's like a candle or some lantern thing that they have, but it lights the fire, and you can watch the videos on YouTube. They come out of, like the priest comes out and everybody tries to like light the candle and take it home, even on an airplane. I don't know, it's insane. I thought it's such a crazy phenomenon, and how it happens only on that day when they pray an ancient prayer in that tomb. I was like, wow, this is so cool. Okay, we're gonna go inside now. This is where the Golgotha used to be, so supposedly that's where he was crucified. Of course now everything is built around this area, so all of this is like not so old, but you understand. This is the tomb we went into yesterday. There's literally a queue all around it. It takes about 30 to 40 minutes and you get about 10 seconds inside. It's also mentioned in the Bible that Jesus was laid here. However, a lot of people have different opinions about it. We're going to be visiting the second potential location called the Garden Tomb today. Wow. Guys, we just had the weirdest experience. We went into this market while we were having a conversation about God and how hard it is to like have faith when, you know, your faith is like sometimes fluctuating. Sometimes you have very strong beliefs and then sometimes it's like lesser. And anyway, so we're talking about this while we're going through that market. It's like, mind you, 8 in the morning, so it's still like everything's opening up. And then we see this beautiful green door and there's like 3 policemen there. And then we see the Dome of the Rock and they're like, oh, where are you guys from? So we're like, oh, Lithuania and South Africa. And they're like, oh, it's only for Muslims. And we were like, oh shoot, but how weird that we were talking about faith and we end up at the Dome of the Rock, which is literally like so important for all religions. It was a very strange moment.
So because of your faith, you can't enter through one
Yeah,
door.
like how come you have to knock on the other door? What is that verse from Matthew? Narrow is the road.
Yes, and the wide is the path.
That leads to destruction. There you go. So we need to find that narrow road now. Ah! So we're still trying to find how to get to the Western Wall because that is the only place where non-Muslim people can see Dome of the Rock. And Andy just saw that the police protecting one of the gates was actually Jewish, you said?
Yeah.
So it's so weird. Like they live in such, what's the word? In such harmony, I guess. Between all these. Yeah, they have all these different religions that live in such harmony. But there's one place that's only allowed for Muslims and not for the rest of us.
Protected by Jews.
And protected by Jews. Yeah, that is insane. Our heads have been exploding for the last few days with all this weird realizations, like how can such complexity exist in like 2 kilometers of space, you know? Wild.
Paradox is alive.
Literally.
Real, yeah.
We entered through a wooden bridge that is the only access for non-Muslims, and we are here at the Rock, guys. Look at it. Wow. I think Andy feels illegal to be here. Crazy. I'm wearing leggings and the guy came and said you cannot wear leggings. Need something less fitting to the body. But we're running late for our tour, so we cannot stay longer, so I'm not gonna wear their outfit. Just going now.
And to the right, there's like a little castle with a flag. Before we go underground, David comes here 3,000 years ago. I didn't tell you how, but he creates Jerusalem. And he looks at all these empty mountains. All of this is empty. They're just fields. He probably looks this way to Mount Moriah and his heart hurts a little bit because he wishes he could build the house of God. He's not gonna be able to. He has too much blood on his hands, and the house of God needs to be built by someone who's a peaceful person. He looks up there and he looks around. He says, you know what? He takes out his journal, his personal diary, which we will now turn into Psalms, and it's gonna be like the bestseller. And he writes a passage. He writes, Yerushalayim harim saviv la ki Hashem saviv la'amo. Jerusalem, mountains surround you just as God surrounds his people. Now,
Wow.
if that's Jerusalem of David, then that poem doesn't make any sense. Mountains don't surround that city. Once we understand that Jerusalem's actually down here, we understand that David's songs aren't just beautiful poetry, they're disconnected to everything, right? They're real things that he's seeing, real things that are happening, that he's connecting to his own spiritual journey. David's palace, and we were like, Eilat, 150 years people have been digging here, how do you know? And she was like, well, I'll show you. And what she shows us, we're like, fine, you can dig. And we let her dig, and she pretty much makes a huge hole under here. And I'm going to show you what she finds.
Since 2005 only, this place has been discovered, guys. Whoa. Whoa. Wow, guys.
And Hiram, king of Tyre, Phoenicia, sent envoys to David, and cedar trees and stonemasons and carpenters, and they build a house for David. Who builds the palace? The Phoenicians. The fact we've uncovered less than 20%.
So there is the old city there with the water system, and then water goes up to where? Here.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna do that because although it would be fun, but we could do it by ourselves. Franny is super informative. I'm gonna leave her details below, and we want to learn as much with her as we can, and she would not be joining us on the water tunnel.
You're not still here.
Just casually 4,000-year-old caves in Jerusalem. No biggie, no biggie.
Like I said, this is all filled in with stuff. And some things that are organic that we can date, and some things that are really specific, like the types of idols, we can date those things. So we do know this is definitely Jebusite, definitely Canaanite time period, definitely about 4,000 years ago, like pre-David. But it is still in use during the time period of David as well. So that is something that we also know. That's where the water is. And he climbs up this. Now this is natural. This is not handmade. This is because, like I said, limestone is very porous, just like you have caves. Water comes in here, it seeps through the stones, and it creates this natural. Write down how many times you say wow, and then like I rate places in Israel based on the wow factor. Okay. What is it holding, right? In fact, it will later, right? And underneath, you have the source of water, and there's a tunnel that's going to flow that water into a pool, which is right next to it. We just saw that. It used to be flowing through here, and then what happens? It is pushed off in a different direction. I'll show you. Turn on your flashlight because you won't be able to see anything here.
Oh my god.
Okay, so that's the tunnel. This is the actual water. And you're like, wait a second, Freddie, that looks like a pipe. I want to prove that it's not. Come on in. Stand over there. Okay. Stand over there a little bit. I want to show you the actual source of the water. Because I know it looks like maybe a pipe, but it's not. Take a look.
It's coming from a rock.
Yeah.
She's gonna open.
That's it. It's flowing from underneath the rock. That's a very deep natural spring, okay? This has been here for millions of years. And this is the source of Jerusalem. This is the spiritual source of Jerusalem, if you will.
Guys, this is the tunnel where you can walk 25 minutes. Imagine.
And we'll see where it ends up. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a little bit of walking to get to the pool. Maybe the people will time. Water can move mountains.
It's crazy.
All the miracles, right, that you're here for. I'm gonna walk down these steps, get to the water, wash my face. This is that. Let's go talk about it over there.
Look at this. It's like so thick.
What you're seeing here.
Stairs there on the picture. This is it.
Originally,
Going from the pool back to the
why do we have
temple.
shops? I will ask you guys to put these on.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You can't make this up.
No, you can't make this up.
So eventually this will become a place where people can walk
Hopefully.
and experience.
The idea is to be able to really allow people to come, go to the pool that will be like fully excavated, ascend the road, and go up to the Temple Mount, right? Which is amazing. So what is this? Now first I want you to tell you, we're not seeing the full edges. You're seeing a tiny slither of this road. It's a lot wider. Of the ascents. You guys know the ascents? If you read through Psalms, there's a bunch of songs that are the ascent songs. There's a lot of them. Can you imagine like drums, and like things, sounds?
Guys, they're still digging this place.
Very careful.
See? This is literally off limits and because of Franny we got the access to visit this place.
Right? These buckets
History
have been taken
uncovered.
out of the dirt. They haven't been sifted yet, so they're all going to be brought up on that conveyor belt, and then they will be sifted in a wet sifting. But this is what it looks like. It's just dirt. All of this place is totally, you're like walking on a road and it looks really beautiful. It's covered in dirt and it's dug by hand for the past, years. 2011, we start digging here. And it's been being dug every single day for that long. I mean, like years, right?
Yeah,
More than 10
12 years. So imagine in 12 years more, what will they discover?
So it was originally just this, and then we started doing that side, and now we're trying to expand it because it's a really big road.
Yeah.
Right, well, you can see it. This is the thinnest part of the road, right? You can see a curve here and a curve there. So you can imagine how thick it is. Jump in the beginning. But also, this map is made when we start digging. We've almost dug the entire thing. We have a couple more meters up here to do. You can really almost walk the entire thing. Look at the remnants of this home. Look how beautiful this doorway is kept, right?
Wow.
You have like, this would like jam it into the floor, and then you have a lock. I would open it in and say, welcome, where are you from? Do you need a place to stay? Do you need food? Do you need a drink? Right now, I don't have most of this dug out, but
look at those homes here. We're in somebody's house.
What I can say, there's a problem with Jerusalem. You know what the problem is? It's a little bit addictive. Cats right on here on these benches. I'm gonna warn you, it's not an easy walk, and it's gonna be really low for certain times, but you can laid on the foundation of the road. So we're doing pilgrimage on the road and under it.
How many feet are we under, or meters?
I'd say about 15 meters.
Herodian Channel beneath the Herodian Road. This is where we are. Oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. This is crazy. We're literally with our heads like this. Andy, how are you?
In shock.
It's like time travel, basically. That's how it feels.
And it continues
This is
here.
where we were. Imagine. This is the
We're
top
not
where
going through there today.
they're excavating, and this is where we walked.
End up in another, like,
And there's another actual road now, so imagine. And this is where it continues to Temple Mount. This is still the actual excavation, guys, going on. Look at all these buckets coming up. Oh my gosh. Absolutely unbelievable.
Where we learn about
All the stuff and coins are being found.
What is how we connect, how we disconnect. What
They're still excavating everything right here as well. Oh my gosh, I'm getting chills. This is unbelievable. All the buckets are still going up there, all the way there. In the city of David, at the Welcome Center, there's a little shop where you can buy the water shoes. I actually packed mine, the ones that I used when I was in Croatia last year, but we didn't end up walking through the tunnels. But in case you do want to go through the tunnel, you can get the water shoes here, because you cannot go barefoot. Just letting you guys know. City of David. What just happened, Andy? What just happened? This was seriously hands down the best tour I've ever done in my whole life. I don't know how to explain it. Franny, so knowledgeable, so highly recommended. A little bit costly, but so worth it. I would do it again and again and again. And I cannot wait already to be back. Yeah. She was talking about the super cool phenomenon. What's it called? Jerusalem syndrome? Yeah. Something like that. And apparently people that come here, sometimes they get so immersed that they want to become like biblical characters, or they just want to stay here.
Well, it happened. They are the Messiah.
Or like it's insane. But basically, even her, she said she came like when she was 16 and she never left. I mean, she came again on a gap year and then stayed forever. Yeah. So this place is very, very magnetic. Literally, it's something about it. Something's in the air for sure. How is this real? Just underground cities. History before our eyes. And still to be uncovered. I can't explain this feeling. Also, there is a Jewish cemetery. They say that this is the most expensive cemetery. All the olive trees. We're going there now, to the Mount of Olives, Garden of Gethsemane in the Bible. So Orthodox Jewish believe that the Messiah is coming back, and he's coming back here. That's why the cemetery is here, so that they will rise first. So we're now on the Mount of Olives. We met this lovely driver here, and
hello, my name is Sami.
He's showing us around. Now we're going to Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus, where Jesus prayed before his crucifixion. Thank you.
The oldest olive trees, the Garden of Gethsemane.
Whoa.
This is the place where Jesus prayed his last night with his disciples, and this is the Church of the Agony inside. So make pictures of the garden, then I'll show you the stone of agony.
Look at those olive trees. My mind is completely blown. We have a Jewish tour guide. Now we meet Sami, who is Muslim.
Yeah.
We are in Garden of Gethsemane. That is an important site for Christians. Jerusalem is next level. It cannot be explained. What did you just say? Back home you read the Bible?
Back home you read the Bible, here you live the Bible. That's a blessing from the family, from the Lord, that He sent her to visit the Holy Land.
When have you heard a Muslim person say that? Like, this is insane.
Because we believe in Jesus, of course.
I know, but like...
And we believe that He's coming back soon.
But you know, the world is so divided, like, oh, you're Muslim, oh, you're Christian, oh, you're Jewish. Here you come and everyone just gets along. Everyone gets along.
Children of Adam and Eve.
Yes.
We all the same, doesn't matter. At the end, we hope that everybody go to heaven and live there.
And the Jewish believe what? In this Kidron Valley?
This is the Kidron Valley. They believe
In the
this
middle.
will be the last judgment, end of the time.
End of the time.
Yeah.
Now we're going into this beautiful Church of All Nations. I don't think I can talk inside.
You can go straight inside. There's the Son of Agony on the floor. Like he's a nice guy, he kissed Jesus. And he betrayed Jesus.
So inside here, Church of All Nations, there's a painting and the actual rock where Judah betrays Jesus. This is right here. I wonder why it's called Church of All Nations.
If one complains in the media show you only bad things.
This is the checkpoint for Palestinian territory. Nobody's stopping. So we ended up in Bethlehem, which is in Palestinian territories. And this is Aboud. He's a Christian, Syrian Orthodox. And he is gonna show us the three churches here: Church of Nativity, Armenian, Greek Orthodox, and Catholic.
Downstairs there is a cave, a grotto.
This is the store. We're spending our Wednesday evening after 11 hours of exploring 90 Days of Fiancé, trash TV, and local food. Look at the amount of sides and dips we got in this huge shawarma wrap and potato fries and falafel inside. It's crazy. We're gonna be in a food coma, but we're frozen, we're tired, and we're ready to dig in. Good morning, day 3? 4? 3. It's full, yeah. Day 3. We are up before the dawn, or it is dawn now, 5:20 in the morning. We're going for a tour. Well, a bus actually that's gonna go take us on tour, and we're gonna be going to the north, to Nazareth, where Jesus lived, right? We're very excited, but our bodies are paining from doing like 16,000 steps a day.
Too many early mornings.
Too many
late nights.
Yeah, but this is the earliest morning we've done.
Oh, yeah.
We passed out yesterday like 10 p.m. I think after yesterday, our brains are literally fried. I don't know what I know anymore. And the sad,
too much and too little.
Yeah, and the sad part is we were planning to get baptized today, but I feel like we're a little bit too overwhelmed with information at this point that it's not the right mindset to be at when you're in, when you do such a commitment, I feel. So I think we're gonna chicken out, but that's okay. I'm sure we're gonna learn a lot today, and maybe we'll change our minds halfway through, who knows. 5:30 in the morning. in Jerusalem. So pretty. Soap with donkey milk. I've been to many places around the world but never seen donkey milk soap before, so this is going to be interesting. Andy got with vanilla, I got this one with aloe vera, and I got one for my mom with rose. Yeah, excited. Apparently Cleopatra used to use this a lot. Century stairs in the Byzantine synagogue. Well, ruins of it at least. So we are here in Capernaum, which is the town of Jesus. Over there they say that are the ruins of Simon/Peter's house. And over here, we just were sitting there inside on the stairs. They say that it used to be a synagogue, because the stones right here are called limestones and they're not native of this region. They say they were brought from Jerusalem, and archaeologists argue that this stone, which is like volcanic stone, the mountains across the Sea of Galilee, which is right there, are called Golan Heights. They used to belong to Syria, now they belong to the state of Israel. And yeah, they say that this part of the synagogue is from the 1st century. So they used to come here and study the Torah back in the day. I look like a Jewish lady, but I swear it got so hot I had to remove all the layers I was wearing. Andy, let's go to Sea of Galilee. Look at this statue. Thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church. Matthew 16:18. All the infamous stories of the fishermen, of Jesus crossing the sea. Right here, guys. Right here. And across is the Golan Heights Mountains. Look at this, guys.
Can we just stay here for
Yeah. This is so peaceful, guys. Imagine. I think it's one of my favorite places we went to so far. And City of David.
But this is different.
It's very different.
This is like...
But at the same time, I feel like you can call a lot of places City of Jesus or Town of Jesus.
But this one by far, it's like...
Outshines all of it. It's hard to explain what this place feels like. You have to come here once in your life. So we just stopped now after Sea of Galilee for lunch at a Jewish, what's it called? Kibbutz? Kibbutz. And we paid $50 for lunch together. So like 25, I guess. That's a lot, right? Final stop of our tour after having lunch is Yardenit Baptist site, and look at the amount of buses here Andy, how do you feel about our decision? When we thought you feel great.
I made the right decision.
Yeah, we were gonna do it. We were gonna get baptized here, but something in our heart is saying nope. This is the Jordan River. Not exactly where Jesus was baptized, because he was baptized by John the Baptist, actually in Jordan territory now. But look at the water. So this is one of the sides. I don't know why they're not doing it here now. They're doing it on the other side. I'll show you guys. People are renting or buying the tunics. You have to wear white. And there you go. People are getting baptized right there.
Just because I'm in this pain, it doesn't mean I can't be whole again. Faithful to the very end, I will wait upon you, Lord. I will wait upon you, Lord. And I will wait upon you, Lord.
Our day's coming, Andy. I know it's coming. It's just not today. So many people are being saved. So beautiful to watch. Literally group after group after group of people. And it's like 4 p.m. now, so they open at 8 a.m. And imagine how many people every day come here. Andy, no regrets, ever.
No regrets.
Sure.
Maybe one day I'll come back here.
I don't know, it really felt like a formality here. And we wanted, clapping and cheering. I know it's a joyous feeling, but we're very emo with Andy. Like, I know it doesn't seem like that on camera, but we really are. So we would like to be a little more quiet. But if we were to do it here one day, it would probably be early morning when there's not that many people around, because you want it to be very, very serene, put it that way. Hi guys, I wanted to do a little thinking out loud session here. I'm actually back home in Dubai, just editing this vlog and looking back at all these memories we've made. And I just remember that going back from Nazareth back to Jerusalem was probably one of the most physically and emotionally draining moments of the trip. I think it was just a accumulation of all the information and just experience that we've had so far, and I just was feeling really, really overwhelmed and just exhausted from everything. I really wasn't sure anymore of what I know. Like, I felt peace, I felt confusion. I wanted to record myself because I wanted to remember that feeling. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, you know, if faith was easy, everybody would have it, right? And I think this is just part of the journey for me, and I just wanted to share this with you because it is very personal and it is a big part of my life. But I'm very grateful to have gone there and to have experienced everything that I have experienced and to continue following God. And I know it's not going to be an easy road, but I do trust Him with all my heart, even though it was the hardest decision I've ever made and will probably continue to make. But I'm ready to see what is in store. Huda Market is popping tonight. We just came back from Nazareth completely exhausted. 12-hour tour, we're dead. But we came for some pomegranate juice, woo! And something sweet. This is where we ate on Monday. Wow. Look at this energy. I want to try the coconut croissant. Coconut croissant, okay. And the chocolate one, of course. Yes. On the streets. last day in Jerusalem, Friday morning, so it's almost Shabbat. And we just had breakfast and we're going to Old Jerusalem to Damascus Gate to meet our driver because everything is closed all around. Because there's a marathon on a Friday, so I'll show you how it looks. I think some people are walking it instead of running it. His flag says God is love. So usually this is where the tram runs here, but now it's all closed off. I think I've seen like 2 actual runners. The rest are walking like us. So it's very weird. It's Team Marathon. So this is the Old Jerusalem wall fence. We're going to Damascus Gate, which is further down the hill. Off to the Dead Sea. Team going to the Dead Sea. Yay! Sammy's looking after us. I'll link his number. I'll put the number down below in the description so you can reach out to him when you're in Israel. And you
anytime, my pleasure.
He's the best. He's the best, yes.
El baño.
Welcome to Jericho, the oldest city in the world, guys. We literally passed a sign that said 10,000 years old city. Very, very famous place in the Bible. Right there on top of the hill, on top of the mountain, there is a monastery, and it signifies a place where Jesus was tempted by the devil for 40 days. You can go up by a cable car. Andy, how do you feel? I'm always interviewing you.
This place is so peaceful.
It's very peaceful. What is the story about the walls? Because I still have not read my Bible clearly well enough.
So I think when Joshua was trying to escape the desert, he walked around a few days. And, well, this is kind of the gist of the story. And they kept praying for the walls to fall down so he could get back, I think, towards Jerusalem or head back to the Holy Land. And eventually the walls fell down after all the prayers. So often when you have like some tough time, going through tough times and you pray, they say, may the walls of Jericho fall down in your life, like figuratively. It's used.
And here we are in Jericho.
May the walls of Jericho fall down
for all our lives. Look how beautiful everything is. All these vases from the Dead Sea. Of course, handmade. Look at this wine glass. The whole set is like $200. And it's made out of all these stones that are found here. Now look, if you put it, it's really, really heavy. If you put it, look at this. It goes from blue to orange.
You know anything about walls of Jericho? You just put water, it's coming alive.
Fresh juice, yummy. And how is it?
So good.
So good?
Yeah.
You like it?
I overdosed of vitamin C.
Very fresh.
But when I get the Jordan River, it will be only 6 meters between Jordanian military and Israeli military.
So we'll be 2 countries.
Like this road only. It's the main border.
Jordan River? Jordan flag. Look at this color of the water. White pigeons at the baptism site where everyone's wearing white. What are the odds?
This place seems busier than Yarden. Maybe because it's closer.
Maybe.
Closer to where?
To Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Right?
We made it to the Dead Sea. Can't wait. Oh my god. It's so beautiful, guys. I have to show you. Look at this.
Wow.
Hey, look at you! Woo! Getting that mud from the Dead Sea on, all the vitamins for my skin. Feeling very connected with the nature. I left you for 5 minutes and you end up with some guy in the mud. What? This is like some zombie movie. Roar! I'm officially a mud woman. Andy, are you okay? This is... I cannot. Wow.
I'm having a mud massage.
This is the most VIP Dead Sea spa treatment you can get. in the actual pit of it. I don't know how we're gonna wash this off. Back from the mud. And how are you feeling? Cleansed, purified. Detox, purified, moisturized, itchy now. But it was really fun. Just such a mission to wash everything out. But highly recommend.
So I felt like a child again.
Exactly, it's like playing with clay or something. Super fun. We are inside the Church of Ascension, and they believe that Jesus ascended from this rock. After the 40 days, he was resurrected. Look at this little temple. Do you think it's... Wow. It feels magical.
Yeah.
Right? Something about it. Definitely.
There's energy.
Yeah, right? Our last spot in Jerusalem before we head back to Tel Aviv is the Garden Tomb. This is a second location where people believe that Jesus was laid after he was crucified.
Come and see what I have seen. Come and sing his praise with me. All your pain he'll wash away. He'll break your chains and set you free. And you be free here in the Father's house. Come to the Father's house. Just say a prayer and he takes you there. Home to the Father.
We have arrived to Tel Aviv. This is how you get greeted at Play Hotel in Tel Aviv. We literally haven't even got the room, not even a room key.
Next, but at some point you'll get to a room for sure.
Hopefully, hopefully. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome to Tel Aviv. Guys, look at this hotel. Oh my goodness, this is super, super gorgeous. And look at the view that we got. Hallway is so pretty. Like, it's all like this super dark purple color. Very, very modern. The guy brought us our suitcases and he was like, yeah, we're about to celebrate 1 year anniversary of the hotel, so it's very new and very modern. And we got another Prosecco for the road. This is bound to be an amazing stay in Tel Aviv. Cheers. Cheers. Chin chin to our holiday.
Yes.
Never been greeted with champagne or Prosecco before.
Who's getting
For check-in.
non-alcoholic drinks?
Huh?
Who's getting non-alcoholic?
Yeah. We literally just left the hotel and we're gonna try to get dinner. Here it's empty, here it's busy. Okay, we found a spot that's open and it's packed. Full house. What? In the middle of nowhere. We ordered deviled wings. Smells incredible. So excited. Shabbat in Tel Aviv. Got some burgers. Look at this. So big. Wow. And we're having some wine. Yum. Let's with the wine. It's honestly it's actually really good, yeah. Wow. It's very tasty. Wow.
This burger's cooked super peppery.
So good. Guys, this is like living in apocalypse. Everything is closed. We were so lucky to get dinner, honestly.
Yeah,
it's like every single place we're going past by is closed.
Maybe the coffee shop.
Okay, maybe the ice cream spot that I'm hoping will be open will be open. Well, that's actually our room. Yes. Oh yes, okay, it's open. We're getting ice cream. Woo! It is literally next to our hotel, so yay. We're being little piggies today. Burgers, wings, ice cream, wine, yum. We just got back to our hotel and there was the ice cream shop opposite. And now we're just sitting in the lobby. Watching the news. That's what you do on a Shabbat in Tel Aviv on Friday evening. We just came across this huge tree. And look at how beautiful the flowers are. They're huge. They're massive. It's like an island flower. And they're just everywhere here. How cool. Kids in the cars. We got an amazing weather today and we're just walking around admiring the streets and the little shops. It's very, I would say, Scandinavian vibes, but like a bit more lively, like lots of young people. Everyone's just enjoying Saturday, Shabbat, chilling, hanging out with families, kids, people walking dogs. It's amazing. Super, super sweet to see just quality time amongst families. We just found this cute Greek restaurant in Jaffa and look at the starters. They just brought this all out before we even got the menu. That's insane.
Oh, it's so pretty.
What a feast. Look at this view, guys. Wow. White wine. For our last day, we decided to use only our feet to get around and we hit 28,000 steps today. Woohoo! Not doing this ever. Never doing this again. Never doing this again.
Average, almost 15,000.
Very active holiday. Strong legs, good job. Look at the situation outside. What is going on?